See, this is what I'm talking about, Abby. You said it's okay to have a difference of opinion, but when I speak up, you get pissed off.
I'm pissed because you think that I'm so shallow. That some job is more important to me than the rest of your life.
Hey, look, I know it's not about the job to you. That was a cheap shot, okay? I'm sorry.
You think?
Look, you've been incredible. This past year, I have no idea what I would have done without you.
I feel the same way, you know that. You have saved my life so many times.
Look, so, can we backtrack here? Find a way to compromise?
Well, for starters, you don't have to pack these bags every time we have an argument.
Yeah, that's something I learned from my parents. Whenever they had an argument, my mom would go and move to another house.
Look, I'm no expert, Michael. And this is my first attempt at a healthy relationship. I know one thing, we have to be truthful, or we'll lose each other for sure.
I get it. We don't agree right now, but it doesn't change the way that I feel about you, or how important you are to me.
See, this is good. Communication. We had a rough patch, and we worked through it, like two mature adults.
Yeah, like when you said, don't bother packing, just get out.
That was my mistake. I'll do better next time.
You already planning our next argument?
As long as we never go to bed angry.
It's sweet of you to worry about me, but I've been dealing with people hating my father all my life.
Not the way Michael has. You were raised by Alexis. You have no idea what really goes on.
I think I can handle serving drinks at a card game.
Why would you want to?
You really have to ask that? To spend time with you.
Look, Christina, how many times are we going to have this conversation?
As many as it takes.
You just started college. Your world is wide open. You can study whatever you want. You can be whomever you want.
I was at the campus store and thought of you and got you this. It's a friendship bracelet.
I can't accept gifts from you.
Why not?
Just the person I wanted to see. Got a minute?
Well, for you, always.
Oh, Christina, hi. I'm sorry. Would you mind? I really need to speak to Ethan alone.
What do you care? You go behind my back and agree to this.
I'm not trying to undercut you, Robin.
But
Please came to me.
I am the only one that is allowed to make decisions on behalf of the hospital. The police know that.
They also know how close you are to the patient, maybe too close for objectivity.
If by they you mean my Uncle Mac, he wasn't allowed to make this kind of decision. Neither were you, for the record.
You and Jason have a complicated history, that's all.
But I am still the acting chief of staff. I don't appreciate being patted on the head and then you making decisions behind my back.
Okay, and what about Sonny? I mean, Mac knows what happened in our living room. Why the hell would he let him run around this hospital with free reign?
The order came down from the DA's office. They suspect Anthony is behind this whole prescription drug ring that's been happening at the hospital.
I told you about the missing drugs.
Yeah.
They have no evidence to tie him to the stolen meds, so they're trying to get him on something else.
And so why are we just hearing about this now?
You've been busy with Jason.
Okay, but what about her? Why would you do this to her?
What about what you've been doing?
You take your plant for a walk?
It's an orchid, and yes, we had a little walk and talk. She listens to me better than you and Claudia ever do.
Oh, well, that's because she doesn't have legs to run away and a mouth to talk back with.
I should warn you, John. Sonny's gonna be looking to retaliate.
What'd you do now?
Nothing. I'm as innocent as a lamb.
So Sonny's gonna retaliate for no reason.
What can I say? Corinthos isn't the most stable guy around.
This is coming from the guy who talks to plants.
It's an orchid. One I especially picked for Jason. I thought his hospital room could use a little beauty, but I was stopped at the door.
By Sonny?
No, Dr. Drake. That guy's got a mouth on him. You should have heard him, John. He thinks he's better than me just because he wears a white coat.
Yeah, well, you keep talking to plants, you're gonna be seeing a lot of white coats.
Johnny, your father is making it real hard to keep the balance. So I'm gonna have to upset it and start over.
excuse me, what I'm doing besides saving Jason's life and cleaning water bottles and doing nasal polyps?
That's what I'm talking about. Sarcastic little digs just like that.
I apologize, but I feel a little resentment because my skills have been wasted.
I'm only trying to give every surgeon here an equal opportunity.
Not every surgeon is created equal, and you can't change that by revising hospital policy.
This is what I'm saying. I can't even count on my own husband to stick up for me.
I am trying. I am.
Really? You think that I don't know that everyone's talking about me behind my back, including you two, rolling your eyes every single time I implement a new chart? I mean, come on. You've done this job. You know how difficult it is.
Tough decisions have to be made every day.
Right. So why are you talking about me behind my back? Why can't you just offer to help me?
I thought I was helping you by heading up the missing drugs investigation.
Okay, fine. But you could have told me that there was a complete stranger in this room instead of Jason, so I didn't have to run around the entire hospital trying to figure out what the hell happened. I mean, I don't have time to waste like
Robin,
that.
you're doing it again.
Doing what?
If you would just bring it down a notch, we could all cooperate better.
Really? You'd be less critical?
You're my wife. You're talking to me.
Have you told them to stop? Or is it too important to you to be one of the boys?
All right, why don't we grab that coffee tomorrow? Okay, let's say 10. I want to hear about your classes.
It's okay, I get it.
What, Christina, you all right?
Believe it or not, I'm mature enough to handle a blow-off.
Sorry, I should have called first. Clearly walked in on something.
Oh, don't worry about it. I was just trying to provide a friendly shoulder for Christina. I don't think it did much good.
No feelings there?
Don't get me wrong, Christina's a sweet kid, but she's too young, too messed up about life.
Probably isn't easy being the daughter of a mobster.
Well, Sonny didn't exactly do her any favors. I mean, he neglected her most of his life, and then when he finally deigned to show up, he tried to control her. Christina couldn't get his love, so she acted out for attention. I mean, Christina's a messed up kid, you know, and frankly, I feel sorry for her. Besides, Sonny made it abundantly clear that if I liked to keep breathing, I would keep my distance.
Ooh, that could put a damper on things.
Yeah, I tried to explain that she's the one with the crush, but he wasn't buying it.
And personally, I think Sonny should be grateful to you. You were so kind to Christina after that abusive relationship with Kiefer.
Yeah. You know, everything that's happened to Christina is all bubbling up to the surface. It's like she's a ticking time bomb just waiting to go off, and I thought maybe I could contain it. But, you know.
Have you tried being brutally honest?
The truth doesn't work if you're not ready to hear it. I've been there, done that with Luke.
I heard about the intervention.
Yeah, it was painful and a total waste.
Well, as a fellow alcoholic, I completely understand Luke's resistance. You know, you work so hard to maintain the illusion of having some control in your life.
I mean, that night when Luke hit Jake, it was like something broke. You know, it's like he doesn't care about anything or anyone.
What about you? Did Maya break your heart?
You heard about that, huh?
Well, Alice told me that Maya moved back to Philadelphia. Didn't give any details.
I found Maya in bed with some doctor.
Ooh, that must have been painful.
You know, Maya was actually surprisingly decent about it. I know it's cliche, but I like to think that we parted as friends.
Well, no doubt Maya will be kicking herself someday. I'm sure she already is. Finding love is all about luck and timing, isn't it? Along the way, you find your amusements where you can.
Are you looking for amusement?
Well, it's not to say there aren't always lots of willing partners. They're usually just a little too complicated for my taste.
Nothing complicated about me. I can promise you that.
You changed your mind about the orchid. I knew you would.
Yeah, the orchid, Johnny. Listen, we've had this discussion. How do we keep him in check?
Listen, it's never easy starting over, so try to keep open to the experience.
He talks to plants now.
It's an orchid.
He was outside of Jason's hospital room, Johnny.
Bring him a gift. I thought it was a lovely gesture. Don't forget my instructions. This little lady can be very temperamental.
Can you drop the I'm talking to a flower routine?
Such hostility, Sonny. You feel threatened?
Knock it off, Pop.
No, if Mr. Corinthos was in a vulnerable position, I could understand his need to flex a little muscle. But he claims to have everything under control.
Do something about your dad. Because if you don't, I'm going to have to do something about both of you.
When was the last